Hello everyone, Griffin here, and today we are in a whole new season of Battle of the Gods. So I'm still doing the same thing that I told you guys that I was doing last month. So basically get all my 9 victories a day to get the 3 free chests every day and get a lot of the currency for the treasury of the gods. But that doesn't mean I can show you at least the interesting fights. Of course it will be on replay mode, but I don't think it will be a problem, because I will explain why I chose each hero. And yes, it will not be a live battle, because when I enter in a battle I have no idea if it's gonna be an interesting war or not, but this way you will not see me fighting, I don't know, people who don't even have the hero scan unlock and don't have training or things like that, or 1-star heroes. Anyway, let's get with the first match. Okay, I'm gonna show you first this match against person level 109, and if the event heroes and VIP heroes show something, at least VIP 11. Okay, so the first match, I'm gonna admit I was not expecting Master Mage. I honestly completely forgot that Imperial Marshal is behind Master Mage. I completely forgot, especially because it's not something that I see very often. So by the moment I realized, when I saw Sorceress and Void Master, I was like, okay, I need to put something behind, not only to distract Imperial Marshal a little bit, to get the ball of Sorceress and maybe even the silence, but also in case the ultimate and the holy damage from Void Master. So that's what I put. That's why I put Turtle Fighter. By the way, I started selecting. So after I saw those 4 heroes, I put Turtle Fighter and Arcane Sapper, because I saw those 2 heroes and I say, okay, I need something behind. But even then, I honestly didn't think that Master Mage was in front. And that shows you just how much it matters to test the heroes. Like, I've said it in some of my comments before, but I haven't had time to test the heroes properly. Like, make a lot of battles in the test server, check timings, damages, etc, etc. So I selected Arcane Sapper, then Master Mage came and there was nothing I could do. Let's see the battle. So I think this one is very obvious why I lost it, this first match. I mean, it's true that Turtle Fighter still received the ultimate and the holy damage of Void Master, but Sorceress ultimates just at the moment that my Hidden Needle comes out, so she cannot ultimate very soon. That's another bad thing, obviously, and then she's alone and that's it. So this first match, I think it's very obvious why I lost. So I was not even mad, I got completely outplayed. Then my opponent started in the second one. So my plan here was, if my opponent was using physical damage, go with healing. That's why I started with, well, my opponent started with Treasure Hunter, and then I went with my Ember Star and Holy Priestess. Holy Priestess because of the healing, obviously. Ember Star because I don't know if you guys have noticed, but she is strong. Oh my god, even without her skin. So then my opponent went with Ninetale Fox, great damage dealer and control, and Halberd Master, so more physical. So okay, I was like, there's two physical heroes, so I went with a good tank, and I went with my own Ninetale Fox, mainly because I wanted something that could change places. And the last one will depend if my opponents will choose physical heroes, then I will go with Cleric, or if my opponent was choosing something else, something other than physical heroes, then I will go with Magic Breaker. Mainly to stop the control, well, at least some of the control, like the silence of Time Soldier or the charm of the ultimate of Ninetale Fox, things like that. And even when Treasure Hunter jumps on the back, if my heroes are inside the field of Magic Breaker, then they don't get stunned. And then I choose my, well, I think that my choice of substitute is not a surprise. I realize that this explanation might last a little more than normal, but I also think that I have a little more time to actually explain why I choose on each battle. And as I said, this will also allow me to use or to show you only the good battles, so you guys don't have to see like very easy fights. Especially because if we're talking, I initially started to make these videos for the strategy and to show my guildmates, like they were having problems with getting to legend and all that. I wanted to help them because I was not having much problem with it. And well, so I think it would be better if I just show you these interesting things, I guess. And as you can see, I'm only my Ember Star died, and honestly the only reason why she died is because of my opponent's Arcane Sapper. But even though she died relatively quickly, she still did 246k damage, and her ultimate not only triggered the legendary skill of Arcane Sapper really early, so he only, I don't know if you noticed, but he only came back with a little bit of health, so that helped me a lot. Otherwise, if he were to survive a little longer, fill his energy bar a little more before dying, then he might have been alive until the end of the match, and that would have been very bad for me. So, and the third match, I started, so I went with something general like Manipulator. I can do a lot of things with Manipulator. My opponent went with Turtle Fighter and Stargazer. The Stargazer is usually a good counter to front line and sometimes middle line physical damage dealers. So I didn't go with physical, I went with magical. And since I saw that my opponent went with Turtle Fighter, I went with Burst, Magical Burst, obviously. Then my opponent went with Scabrous Blade and Hercule. And so I was thinking, okay, nothing that directly threats a Master Mage team, but some of the control might be annoying, so I went with Magic Breaker and my Master Mage. Then my opponent went with Magic Breaker, some healing. I went with Witch as Substitute, which I don't think I have to explain. She's a great hero. So I don't really have something that directly counters a Master Mage team. So I was like, why not? And if something else happened, then I could have gone with a burst team, actually. But in this case, I really believe that Master Mage was a good choice. As you can see, I didn't have much trouble here. Yes, it's taking longer than a Master Mage battle usually takes, but only because Magic Breaker being there and Holy Priestess. But it didn't get to the point that the battle was actually dangerous for me. So that's it. That was a good battle, that was a good fight, and I hope you guys understand my reasons for choosing which heroes and when it didn't work, like in my first match, but in the other two it worked pretty well. Anyway, let's get to the next match. The next fight is against a guy level 107, and even when it was not a high VIP player, I think it still was an interesting battle that showed a couple of things about some heroes. So I will show it to you right now. The first thing, so I saw my opponent going with Magic Breaker. My first thought was maybe Master Mage, so I went with Holy Priestess and Void Master, which are part of my Master Mage counter. Then my opponent went with Manipulator and Nightingale Fox, and this one I blame it on it being too late. For some reason I was thinking that Nightingale Fox was behind Master Mage, so I continued with my counter and went with Cross Knight and Evil Rabbit. Then my opponent just chose Turtle, Witch, and my first I saw Turtle. Then again, I really think it was because I was very tired. I saw Turtle, I went with Depth's Boy, and then just generic substitute in Hidden Needle. Well, those mistakes that I just pointed out are obviously the reason why I lost. So with Turtle Fighter being there, the green skill of Void Master cannot do the magic. So the idea with my counter of Master Mage is that, well, it's not my counter, it's actually something that Alendris made a long time ago. But I used to use it with some variations depending on the new hero. But the idea is that Rabbit grabs a hero, then the green skill of Void Master hits that hero, which will cancel like 2 or 3 either attacks or skills or whatever. And between the holy damage of Void Master and the it's not shield, what is the other word for Rabbit's skill? The shell from Rabbit and the holy damage of Void Master can kill whatever hero is behind Master Mage. So that's the main idea. The healing is obviously in case I receive some ultimates. Cross Knight is there for his scream, for the control skill that he has, which is very good. And the little bit of healing he has is also very good. Well, it's not very good, but it's at least useful. So I think it is pretty obvious why I lost this fight. And as you can see, for the damage that my opponent had to do, this team actually can take a lot of punishment. So that's why it's a good team for Master Mage. For girl, that's boys in that position. After that I had to start, so I went with something generic, like Manipulator. I can do a lot of things. Then my opponent went with 2 tanks. I was completely confused as to why, but since none of them are actually a problem in principle, so I just went with something magical. If I'm having tanks in front, I usually prefer, like more than 2 tanks, I usually prefer to damage them in the magical side than in the physical side. They're usually tanks in the physical side. So I went with Sorceress and Thunder Beast. Then my opponent went with Dragon Lord and Cleric, and that just reinforced that I didn't want to use physical heroes. But since I will have in front of me some control, both in Ancient Statue and Dragon Lord, I went with my Magic Breaker and then Master Mage. And then I don't understand why my opponent, if I went with Master Mage, my opponent went with Arcane Sapphire, but then again, I have made the same mistake before, and I started to do the same. So this is a fight. And let's see. And all of them are together, so I can actually damage them a little faster. And I am not sure if that was good or bad, but all my opponent's heroes were directly in the middle of my team. I honestly don't know. But I have to admit that Tom by Manipulator, I think, saved me, because I'm pretty sure that my opponent's Sorceress was about to ultimate. So that Tom that made my opponent's Sorceress walk, so wasting a little time until my own Sorceress made her ultimate, I think that saved me that much. But it also made it very obvious to me that this guy actually can take a lot of punishments from the cyber. I was really surprised that he was alive after all of that, even by himself. So that one went like that. So my opponent started again, and I didn't see much of a problem, so I just went with since I had in front of me Sky Guardian, which can be very bad if she catches you with her ultimate while the hero that is going to take the attack has the Eagle mark. So I went with something that has a lot of HP and a lot of armor, Hercule, and then some magical damage. Yeah, as I told you, Ember Star has been working great for me. Then my opponent went with Void Master and Cross Dragon, so the first thing is I saw Void Master. I have to turn Void Master, so I went with my Turtle Fighter, and then since I didn't see any reason not to, I went with my Ninetale Fox. Then my opponent went with Holy Priestess and Scarlet's Blade, and since I saw 1 to 3 Ninetale Heroes, I went with my Arcane Sapphire, especially in the case that Arcane Sapphire is caught by Sky Guardian's ultimate without the Eagle. He can die the first time, but then because of his legendary skill, he can turn all his energy into HP, so giving him like a second life. And I have seen during battles that Sky Guardian, a fully trained Sky Guardian, level 110, cannot kill both lives of Arcane Sapper without the Eagle. So that's why I went with that. And then the substitute option is obvious. Shadow Reaper is a monster. And even if you don't believe it, she's still not fully trained. She has like 19,000 HP, which, okay, is close to fully trained, but not fully trained. So far there's nothing weird. Things are going as expected. And luckily, only my Turtle Fighter and there, you saw? The ultimate catch my Arcane Sapper. He died the first time but not the second. The ultimate of Sky Guardian. So that's a little thing that I realized after a lot of battles. But I have to say, if I still did test like I used to, I would have known that way earlier. But Sky Guardian is not really a big problem. And you can see, the damage from Ember Star is nothing to scoff at. Sky Guardian is not exciting the meta game anymore. So I think that my opponent just ran out of options. But still, it was interesting. I just saw that some cyberies actually can take a lot of punishment. And I also let you guys know of this video. Alright. I think that I will save more battles for later. So for now, thanks a lot for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, subscribe, comment and share with your friends. It means a lot. I will see you next time. Griffin out.